Welcome! Today we're diving into a really strange organism that basically lives a double life. For a farmer, it's an absolute plague, a total disaster. But for a doctor, it's a confusing puzzle. It's an imposter that really makes us question what it even means to be infected. Just think about that for a second. You get a lab result and it says you've got a parasite. Scary, right? But what if that so-called parasite was just passing through, more of a tourist than a resident? That's the mystery we're going to unravel today. So, to get this story, we can't start in a hospital. We can't even start in a clinic. We have to begin where our main character actually lives and thrives, deep down in the soil, wrapped around the roots of plants. Okay, let's get into it. Meet Meloidogyne. You probably know it as the root knot nematode. Its name actually comes from Greek and means apple-shaped swelling, which is a perfect, if not a little creepy, description of the damage it does. Now, this isn't some simple single-celled protozoa. Nope, this is a metazoa, a complex, multicellular animal. And it's an obligate endoparasite, which is just a fancy way of saying it has to live inside a host, and it absolutely cannot survive without one. And its impact? It's just staggering. This tiny little worm is a global menace to agriculture. It's not picky at all. It can infect and destroy almost any plant with a vascular system. We're talking everything from your tomatoes to your potatoes. The economic damage is in the billions of dollars every single year. So how does it cause so much trouble? Well, its life cycle is brilliant and honestly kind of terrifying. Little juveniles hatch in the soil, they find a plant root, and then they perform this kind of biological magic trick. They actually inject proteins into the plant cells, hijacking their genetic machinery and forcing them to swell up and merge into these massive giant cells. These are basically custom-built feeding stations that nourish the nematode. The female then just swells up into an egg-laying machine, pumping out hundreds of new invaders to start the whole destructive cycle all over again. To really see the real-world impact of this thing, let's zoom in on a country where the stakes for agriculture couldn't be higher, the Netherlands. You see, the Netherlands is a global powerhouse when it comes to exporting plants, flowers, and especially seed potatoes. Their entire agricultural economy really depends on being totally pest-free, and because of that, they have one of the most advanced and strict nematode detection and control systems on the entire planet. In Europe, two species are basically public enemy number one: Meloidogyne shitwoodi and Meloidogyne phalanx. They're officially called union quarantine pests. That means if you find just one, it kicks off this massive regulatory response. We're talking quarantines, destroying crops, trade restrictions. And to make it all worse, in 2023, they found Meloidogyne phalanx on wild plants, which means it has a hiding spot outside of farms, making it way, way harder to control. So how big is this problem really? This number says it all: 78. In 2023, that's how many times officials found these quarantine pests in Dutch seed potatoes alone during their big national survey. It's a pretty stark reminder that even with all their efforts, the threat is very real. And the battle never stops. They're also fighting off attacks from new, even more aggressive species, like Meloidogyne enterolobi. This one is notorious because it can break through crops that are bred to be resistant. It's not established there yet, but it keeps popping up on imported plants, forcing the authorities to launch these strict eradication missions every single time it's found. Okay, we've talked about soil, potatoes, quarantine laws. It all feels a million miles away from a doctor's office. But this is where our story takes a very sharp, very unexpected turn. This is the twist. This is where the plant destroyer morphs into a medical mystery. This is the parasite imposter. So we need to understand a key concept here: the spurious parasite, or passant. All this means is an organism or its eggs that you might find in a stool sample that isn't actually infecting the person. It was just eaten, it survived the journey through the gut, and it came out the other end. It's a hitchhiker, that's all. And that is exactly what happens with Meloidogyne. Remember those hundreds of eggs the female lays? They're totally microscopic, and they stick to the surface of root vegetables. Think carrots, lettuce. If you eat those veggies raw without washing them really well, you're eating the eggs. And they are so tough they can survive your stomach acid and just pass right on through. And this slide right here shows you exactly where all the confusion comes from. The eggs of Meloidogyne can look almost identical to the eggs of actual human parasites, like hookworms.
For a lab tech who isn't specifically trained to spot the tiny little differences, it is an incredibly easy mistake to make. And that one mistake can lead to a misdiagnosis, which means unnecessary prescriptions for really strong drugs, expensive follow-up tests, and just a whole lot of stress for the patient.
So what is the crucial takeaway here? It's this, and it's super important. Meloidogyne does not and cannot infect human beings. It is completely harmless to us. Finding its eggs in a stool sample means absolutely nothing about your health. It causes zero symptoms, poses zero danger, and requires zero treatment. The only cure needed is just washing your vegetables a little more carefully. Okay, so knowing it's harmless to people, let's head back to the real battlefield, agriculture, and see how science is stepping up its game to fight this thing where it actually does cause harm. The current approach is really all about integrated management. It's a multi-pronged attack. You've got the relentless surveillance and quarantines we saw in the Netherlands, you've got strict sanitation to stop the spread, and even clever techniques like flooding fields to drown the nematodes, all while breeding plants that are naturally resistant. But the future is where it gets really exciting. Scientists are developing some truly high-tech solutions. Imagine using tiny RNA molecules to just switch off the nematode's essential survival genes, or using CRISPR gene editing to create crops that are basically immune to attack from the get-go. This is the new frontier in a smarter, more sustainable fight against Meloidogyne. And this brings us right back to the central idea. A quote from the research really sums it up perfectly. Meloidogyne is a masterclass in biological context. In one environment, it's a total catastrophe. In another, it's a completely harmless little traveler. It all just depends on where you find it. Just so you know, all this information was compiled using a Gemini deep search. You can find a detailed list of all the sources for everything we talked about in the linked Notebook LM document. So we'll leave you with this to think about. The story of Meloidogyne is a fascinating case of mistaken identity, for sure. But as our climate and our ecosystems keep changing, you really have to wonder how many other organisms, perfectly adapted to one environment, are going to start showing up in places we never, ever expected to see them. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of biological imposters, please subscribe for more explainers like this one. And hey, let us know in the comments, had you ever even heard of a spurious parasite before? Thanks for watching.